Hi.
Hey,
How's your day?
pretty good.
Cool. How's your day, everyone?
How is your day?
I hope it's good. I hope you're having a good one. I don't know if it's morning, evening, afternoon, or I don't know, 3 in the morning, middle of the night.
Could be
Something like
because
that.
we release this at midnight.
Yeah. So it could be at any time of day for you. Hopefully it's going well. And hopefully you ate something good,
Yeah.
having a good night.
Well, either way,
Yeah.
welcome to Bacon's My Podcast,
Yeah,
where
welcome.
we talk about things and stuff. And
All kinds of things
we
and stuff.
have Jimmy here, and I am Mike,
Yeah.
and we are your hosts. And we have Rauli V,
Yeah.
who is cool as shit.
Yeah, he's super cool.
He was a lot of fun to have on the show. We dive deep into songwriting, production, and then even some of like things he's into.
Yeah, video games,
comic book movies, and TV shows and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But before we get into that, we do have to remind you that we have some sponsors.
So quickly.
Well, first off, real quick, our newest sponsor, Manscaped, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you go to manscaped.com, if you use the comb over, the promo code BaconPod,
what happens?
you get 20% off.
20? Dude, that's great.
20 whole percent off.
20% off.
You can now. It's not just for guys. You girls, you can use it too. They have their lawnmower 4.0 out. It is great.
It is great. I have one.
I have one as well.
I am a fan.
It works very well. I've tried other things before, and it hasn't been so good.
I thought I was going to die once.
Yeah, that happens. That does happen.
Die once.
But also they don't just have that. They do have other things. They do have like the crop preserver, their cologne. They sent me this, the foot duster.
I've used one. They sent me one too. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you got stanky ass feet, and
funky feet, man.
Yeah. But the one thing that I will say and Jim and I have talked about this, we live by this. The good old crop mop.
The crop mop.
It
wet
is
wipes for
the
nethers. Yeah, for the nethers.
Yeah. So please make sure you go to manscaped.com.
Yeah.
You go to buy all your accoutrement, if you will, and you use that promo code BaconPod because it helps us out greatly.
It helps us out and it helps you out. Yeah.
We also
wash your ass.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most important part of you that you want clean, and your armpits too,
and your pits,
but
the foot
mostly
duster.
that
Foot duster too, man. Oh, stank feet is the worst.
Yeah, stank feet does suck.
That's awful.
Yeah. Also, we do have drinkwildbills.com. We do have grillyourassoff.com. We do have poddex.com. All of them. It's 10% off if you use the promo code what?
It's Bacon. And you can, if you can't remember stuff like that, just go to baconismypodcast.com and jump on our sponsors page where everything is up there with the promo codes and links and all that kind of fun stuff. So you can check it out.
Exactly. And
we thank them and we thank you for supporting our sponsors because that helps keeps the show on. And we like a special thanks to our BIMP squad on Patreon, our patrons there. It's just more content, more shows, all kinds of fun stuff there.
We eat terrible things.
We especially want to thank you, any of you who are listening to this right now, because listeners, that's why, it's not why we do this, but it's what keeps this thing going.
Yeah. And
we could just sit in a room and drink and talk to each other and meet people. We can do that.
It doesn't matter.
But it's awesome that you guys listen and care. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for sending us cool shit. You too can do that. Just become a Patreon and learn what all the hoopla is all about.
The hoopla. And right now, though,
figure out what
the hoopla is about Rauli V, because he was awesome. I knew he was going to be awesome when I first checked out his videos.
His music is really freaking good. It hits so many different things. Like,
he's got a cool YouTube channel. He's got cool music. He's a cool dude. Check it out. Just check out the conversation. We don't need to sell it to you. So just do it. So it's going to start.
When? Now.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
So we got a new sponsor.
Yeah, sweet balls, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm pretty sure you can guess by that conversation that our new sponsor is Manscaped.
Yes, Manscaped, a company that I'm very familiar with.
Me too.
A few years now. I've been using their products, and I tell you what, my marbles have never been shinier.
I actually got their lawnmower 3.0.
Yes,
which it has skin safe technology, and they've just upgraded to the 4.0. And let me tell you, I loved the 3.0, but the 4.0 is just so much better. It's got a light on it. Do I really need a light? Yes, you do.
Visual aids.
Yeah,
visual aids
you absolutely do.
Sometimes,
for sure.
Sometimes in those crevices, that upper leg, inner crease.
Yes, agreed.
It's a tough spot. So the Perfect Package 4.0 contains the Lawnmower 4.0.
Yes.
But one of the things that I am a big fan of is the Crop Reviver.
Yes.
They call it. It is. They call it the Ball Spray Toner.
Yes. So it's
those marbles.
What else is in the Perfect package as well is the ball deodorant.
Yes.
It's the Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing. So when you walk a lot, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get the chafing. I should probably lose weight, but instead I use this.
I'm just a fan. I've always been a fan. I was super excited when you told me that we got the email from them saying that we could now offer a discount to our listeners.
Yes.
I thought that was super cool. So
and men and women can use it too.
Absolutely. It's not just a man thing.
So if you want, you can get 20% off.
Yeah,
your order now.
A big deal.
That's a big deal.
Pretty awesome.
Use the promo code BaconPod. You get 20% off at manscaped.com. So go ahead to manscaped.com. Save yourself 20%.
Yeah.
Use the promo code
BaconPod.
And make your marbles clean.
20%
off. Shiny.
Check it out, manscaped.com. Highly recommended and used by your boys here at Bacon Is My Podcast. Like I said, keep those marbles shiny.
Whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm. What's up, guys? This is Josh and Caleb here from Weather Eye, and
you've been consuming Bacon Is My Podcast.
Let's go!
Hey.
Oh,
it was a surly one.
Yeah, that was. It was smoky.
It was like with my soul.
Yeah.
What's
chest.
going on, everybody? Yeah, a little bit of the chest, but a little bit more diaphragm.
With your chest.
Right?
Diaphragm.
Exactly.
All about diaphragm when you're a singer.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bacon Is My Podcast. He is Jim, I am Mike, and this is our guest, Rauli V. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just here ready to kick it with you too. And honestly, I'm all about this bacon, man. I love bacon. Is my dude. I'm already a fan, and I'm happy to be here.
Hey, man. Happy to
We're
have
happy
you.
to have
It's
you,
awesome.
man.
Definitely happy to have you. Where are you coming at us from today?
Well, today I am in my mini basement Jimmy Rig studio that I actually have dubbed the Hive.
The Hive. I like it.
Nice.
I like it. I see a sweet gaming chair. I see the one like it's almost like that one like light bulb hanging over the top, admitting that nice soft light. I like it.
You know what I'm saying? With a little bit of action, and then you got the honeycomb.
Oh, we got the honeycomb. Nice.
Okay.
I like that too.
Yeah, I had jerry rig studios forever.
It's still a jerry rig studio.
Yeah,
You don't have cool honeycomb.
I could.
You have these,
but I had to buy like wood and sheetrock and stuff like
You guys, listen, it looks great. Man. I was gonna ask who's the drummer, man. The drum set in the back.
Actually, we do have a drummer. Well, so Jim and I are in separate bands.
Yes. We also write music together.
We write music together as well, but we came up in separate bands all the time, and eventually we started writing together. And then writing sessions start with like BS sessions for the first hour to 2 hours to 3 hours,
and that's
a
what
few
this
Jamesons,
is.
and that's that. And then we were like, oh, let's put a camera on, and that's what this is. So, man, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so that's
fun. So we're with you on the home studio.
Yeah. So you guys know that he obviously now that he is a musician, he is a singer, he is a songwriter. But okay, so one thing I do want to say is, and we say it all the time when people go, "Oh, well, what music are you into?" Right? And we'll say we're into everything.
Yeah.
Okay. When you hear our music, you'd never know it.
Right. You don't hear everything.
Like
in our music.
I love Wu-Tang Clan.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know that.
That does not show up in your music.
That does not show up in my music at all.
Have you seen the saga? Sorry to cut you off, man. But
no. It is on my list. It is on.
Yeah,
bro.
I haven't watched it yet either, but it's saved, so I'm ready to go with it.
It's fucking amazing, bro. But yeah, continue. I'm sorry. I just had to. I had to plug.
No,
not at all, man. Not at all.
That's what this show is about.
Yeah,
we'll talk Wu-Tang. We'll talk Wu-Tang because I got to see them with Rage Against the Machine. That was crazy. So
Wu-Tang Clan.
This guy, Rauli V. If you listen to his music, it is literally everywhere.
Yeah,
and even within songs. It is like R&B and Fall Out Boy and
metal,
punk and metal, and it is literally everything. And then you know, if you let it sit for a little bit, you can get a nice Hispanic ballad.
Yeah,
but it's like it's truly all over the place. And one thing that I will say is a lot of people who try to mix genres. Sometimes it comes off as gimmicky and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This does not at all, and it shows how immersed you are in the music and how invested you are in even the different genres. So how do you make them blend so well?
Dude.
Like, what kind of blender do you have? Because I would like one.
Well, yeah, and what?
No, well, first I was gonna say from Tarjay, man. They got all the best blenders in the world.
Tarjay for us fancy folk.
Tarjay, right? Nah, dude. I mean, honestly, as far as like the genre bending, it really, I mean, just like everybody else, right? When we're kids, we get exposed to so many different genres. You know, I'm not sure if you guys have siblings, right? You know, for me, my sister, I mean, you mentioned Wu-Tang Clan. My sister, she was like imperative of like introducing me to like, you know, from Snoop Dogg to Jay-Z to Justin Timberlake and Sync to Korn and you know and Deftones for the first time, right? So I would always just grab all the CDs she was done with. I would just grab and kind of filter through, right? And then when I wanted to see it live, I would like jump on like LimeWire or whatever, right? Jump on and just like see whatever I can, because obviously YouTube wasn't a thing back then, right? But that's honestly where it started. But for real, for me, I'm like, you know, back in, you know, even though I was born in New York and had like all this shifting and moving around, I started setting my roots when I was in Dominican Republic. In DR, since Latin music is really what the norm is, right? Obviously, for me, I was like, dude, that's not my MO, right? I would always get kind of bullied and in a sense picked on because my accent wasn't too Spanish, or when I spoke English, my accent was off, right? So I was like, I never fit in with the people that spoke English, or I never fit in with people that spoke Spanish, right? So for me, I was like, damn, dude, I just, you know, when I started kind of going through those CDs and stuff like that, I started just vibing more with the rock stuff, because it was a lot more about like, you know, screw you, this is who I am, either you fuck with me or you don't, right? That was like it. So for me, you know, I just started going down that rabbit hole of rock and roll, and I fucking hated Spanish music, to be honest with you. I didn't care for it. I didn't want to know anything about it. And then when I went to go get my first guitar, because I started playing guitar first, you know, my dad, he was like, yo, you're gonna play bachata, aren't you? And I was like, nah, bro. I remember like Master of Puppets and like freaking Toxicity as like my first two riffs, and I was just, after that it was a wrap, right? Joined the band, went through the motions and all that stuff. And then after, you know, in Dominican Republic, since there's not a lot of band, like national acts don't go to the island.
Yeah.
So for us, there was two things. All the bands that were on the island, the small local rock scene that we had, we would do like tributes or covers and this and that, just to feel like we were getting that here, over there, right? The second thing was over there, just like there wasn't really a lot of like, racial pieces. It was more socialism, right? Who has money? How do you dress? What do you listen to? Right. And we were metálicos. We were metalheads, right? That's just what we were pegged as. And over there, the metalheads would whoop your ass if you didn't know the history. So for me, I started going and learning as like while I was 12, 13, 14, learning about the 60s, learning about the 70s, learning about the 80s, from hair metal to power metal to death metal to black metal to grunge. So because if you didn't know your shit, you were getting fucked.
Oh yeah, you get called out on it immediately,
bro. Yeah. Immediately, right? So that's really where the sense of rock came. And the more I got into the rock realm over there, the dream was, you got to come to America. And you got to tour America. You got to be in an American band because music in DR is a joke, right? That was the perception, right? And it's still, unfortunately, the reality now, which is what I'm trying to affect and change, right? But when I shifted here, I missed the island. And eventually, because of me missing it, I was like, damn, dude, well, I really slowly do miss the music and the Latin music and the reggaeton and all that stuff. So between the age of 17 and 22, I started learning the history of that, of reggaeton, of trap, dembow, playero, all that stuff. Even though I never produced it, I wanted to understand it. And at that time, I was touring in rock bands still and kind of getting that grind going. So, I say all that to say now where I'm at today, what got me into music is not what I listen to now, right? Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be here without it. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, and that's what's inside of me, right? And when I started singing, I want to say maybe like 9 years. Oh, damn, it's been almost 10 years is really when I started singing. My voice always had like that rock tenacity. That's what a lot of people would tell me, whether if it was like grungy feels or rock feels, or people always kind of compare me to people. And when they would compare me, I would be like, damn, well, let me listen. When I got compared to Emerosa, I was like, I don't know who these dudes are. Let me listen. When I got compared to Glassjaw, I was like, let me listen to these dudes. When I got compared, obviously I already knew about Dave Grohl being from DC, but a lot of people will compare me to his voice or from or like Corey Taylor. So I was like, bro, let me fucking do some research in these guys. And then now, that I did this project, I was like, listen, what got me into music, I want to make sure I pay it respect, but at the same time, I want to do something that feels different and that's true to me. You see what I'm saying? Like you can put any rock track you want. Sometimes it all feels the same. So why are you listening to this new music when you can just listen to the authentic musician that they're trying to emulate, right? So for me, I was like, listen, let me just keep doing the rock shit, but let me add some Latin vibes, let me add some cadence to it, and let me just make that shit bounce.
Don't go away. We'll be back right after these messages.
All right, Jimsy, you think grilling season is over?
Almost, right?
No. Grilling season is never over because of a new sponsor of ours.
Ooh, what is it?
GrillYourAssOff.com.
I love the name already.
Yeah. It's a veteran-owned company that sells spices, barbecue sauces, cool swag, even cookbooks.
Oh, you know what? You sent me a link to that. I checked it out. That was awesome. They had some cool recipes right on their site. That was pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's for free. But now that they're a sponsor, they've decided that if you use the promo code BACON, you get 10% off your order.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm ready. I'm definitely ordering some spices. They had a couple that looked really killer.
Yeah, and it's really, there's so many different selections that there's really a spice for everybody. The guys that are like heat heads, and even the people that just want something subtle, delicious, sweet, whatever it is, they've got something for everybody.
Awesome. Did we order any? Did we have any coming?
We've got some coming.
Nice.
And we're going to do some tasting episodes over on the Patreon.
Awesome. So
with
stick
a little
around.
Bit of grill your ass off stuff.
Stick around, everyone, because once we get those in, we're going to taste them, we're going to go through them, and then we're going to let you know what we think and maybe give you some choices that we would kind of go for.
So once again, head over to grillyourassoff.com, use that promo code BACON, and get 10% off.
Sweet.
This is Chris from Sucker Punch, and you guys are consuming Bacon Is My Podcast.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I noticed a lot in the music is that there's a rhythmic quality to the way you phrase things, vocally, right? That that gives it something different, that gives it some of that there's a certain bounce to it that that evokes like you said, some of the Latin music and some of the some more not quite hip hop, but that just that energy, right, is there. And but then also you've got if you listen a little deeper, there's these crazy backup vocals that you're doing all over the place, and these harmonies that you're picking, and you're not picking harmonies that typical rock acts pick, and you're not
doing the third and fifth,
right? You're like all over the place with this, but it's in such an authentic way, and it's such a cool way that you're doing it that it doesn't feel contrived, and it doesn't feel like something you're doing because you have to, or because you're specifically like, I'm gonna do this. It just feels like it's like naturally where you go, which is what happens when you grow up listening to all these different things, you know, which is it's super cool. It adds a lot to the music, and it like you said, you can hear a rock track and it sounds like a million other rock tracks, and and you're right, and that's one of the problems that happens with music is you start to get things that kind of you start to feel, if you listen to the radio now and you listen to any rock that they do play, if you find a station that plays rock, it's kind of like, did all these bands record in the same studio using the same amps and the same guitars, and the same person wrote all these songs? And
is Travis Barker on this feature too? You know,
I heard he agreed to play on for every band on Warped Tour next year if they do it.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna do every show.
Oh, man.
As opposed to what he does now.
Oh,
okay.
As opposed to only most of them. But yeah, so it's something I definitely picked up on too, and I wanted to point out because it's really cool. So everybody listening, if you haven't checked out the music yet, which you should have, because the 7 questions was awesome, so you should have done it already. Definitely check it out, because you're going to hear some cool shit. Whatever you're into, you're going to hear something that kind of. I grew up in like the Midwest, so Ohio, Indiana, like that area. And so on my dad's side, it was like I was listening to a lot of classic rock, and it was all like, you know, he loved everything from like Pink Floyd, Zeppelin, to Huey Lewis, to like Aerosmith. We had all that stuff in the house. And then on my mom's side, it was all like R&B, Motown, disco, and like David Bowie. And so it's all that stuff. And then all my friends were metalheads. And so it's like I got the benefit of doing that and hearing a lot of different stuff too. So it's interesting to hear how like your upbringing, that it kind of filters its way into what you do, you know, whether you're trying or not, it just kind of happens, which is cool. But some people try and beat it out of you, and I'm glad you don't let anybody beat it out of you.
For anybody. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna add on that too, because you know, as you were talking stuff like one thing that comes to mind when I listen, especially like now where I'm trying to take the time and do get all the work done, let people listen through, like obviously people that are in a closed circle, listen through it, give me feedback. I can kind of, you know, at least put that in the back of my head. One of the things that every single person from different parties always says is that the string that ties all the genres together is just the tone in my voice. So that's what makes it feel like you're still listening to me and you forgot how you got to this genre in the first place.
100%.
Yeah, I feel, and it was funny you brought up the Amorosa thing, and I was listening to like some of the rock oriented stuff, and it's like, it's very Amorosa, Point North, very Slaves kind of thing. And then there's stuff just like not there. But you were talking about, you know, letting close circles listen to the stuff, and you've got a studio here. What's your production thing like? Because it seems like you're kind of just doing it and then sending it out and being like, hey, who's in? Do you do everything? Like you do all the instrumentals and everything like that?
I was gonna say that's pretty much how it's been over the last, like, you know, we all gone through COVID, and at that time, right before COVID, it's like things just happen for a reason, as I always love to believe. But right before COVID, I always wanted to create a YouTube channel, right? And because I'm always on that thing, watching and consuming people do covers and reactions and stuff like that. So I wanted to get into the mix. And when I was in there, I was like, dude, let me do this and let me fail at reproducing other people's music, right? So when I started doing the covers, I just didn't know how to do everything in my house, like by myself. I would always go to a studio or a friend's studio locally or fly out somewhere. And then, you know, financially, I mean, that was just burning dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And at that point, like, I mean, think about it, you know, you're writing stuff. And sometimes, you know, if you're in a band, now it's different personalities, different schedules, you know, money gets into the mix. You sometimes only have a week to do like 2 songs, 3 songs. So there's all this pressure pumped up. So when it's time to actually do your thing, you have all this in the back of your head. Right. So for me, I was like, dude, I just want to learn how to do these covers, understand the producing thing. Because obviously I get the common sense. I get the slicing up. I get the formatting, because I've always been in the room when it's time to create all the music in the previous bands I've always been at. Right. But this time around was different just because I wanted to be comfortable. But that's honestly where it came from. Right. Like I remember Bonnie and Clyde. I remember playing that guitar riff 3 years ago. Right. And saying, yo, this feels right. And I want to do a balls to the wall rock track with just rock and going 10 all day, every day. Right. And the guitar started, you know, usually I go program some drums to kind of get an idea of it as well. Program some bass and stuff like that. And then I'll start, obviously vocally, doing some riffing or stuff like that. But for me, it always starts with the hook and it always starts with the intro. Right, those are the 2 things. If the hook doesn't slap, if I don't make something memorable, like even like lyrically, right, I want to make sure it's something that's second nature. That's what I always tell myself. Right, are you gonna say it's second nature? Right, because that's gonna make my life easier and your life easier for you to love this. Right, and then that intro has to fucking bang. Right. But then after that, you know, usually what ends up happening is I'll either reach out to a friend of mine here locally in the Baltimore, DC area, because there's a phenomenal musicians around the area that I'm friends with, thankfully, right? And I'll just let them know, hey, listen, this is something I'm working on, and I would love, you know, the community to be a part of it, right? So I kind of open up the floodgates there, let a few people listen in, drumming wise, and then they'll come in, do their thing, and then we'll kind of keep it going. But guitar wise, bass wise, you know, production, if there's any synths or like anything at all, everything's in house. Everything's going to be under my belt. The only thing I haven't really played around with is like mixing and mastering. I can do like a quick mix master, which is what all the stuff from YouTube is. That's just me tinkering around. But when I know it's going to be something that's going to have my name on it, I send it to, you know, to my 2 guys. I send it to Eric Taft and my other boy, Bobby Ballou. And both of them, they've been doing all of my shit.
That's awesome. That's like nowadays you gotta be self-sufficient. I've been trying to get him self-sufficient for forever. Because that's what I do, you know, like it's cool too, because you know I have a community too, like this guy and you know our buddy DJ and stuff like that, and I could just send tracks off, and that's your producer. You know, people always go, oh well, you know, you should go see a producer, and I don't think you shouldn't. Don't get me wrong. You know, like I think there's a lot of value in having somebody there the whole step of the way and that kind of stuff. But personally, I think especially for like singles, because that's what you're releasing, right? You're doing singles. I feel like having the other points of view in there is almost as good as having a producer. If you're looking to
if you're going to go to a producer, I think it's better to bring a producer something that's already as close to done as you can get it,
so he can
and then they can, you know, they can sprinkle some magic, or they can go, hey, this is great, you know what I mean? Like they can do that. But having your friends, you know, your friends know your style, they know your music, they know you. When they hear it, they can be like, you're full of shit, I don't buy it. Or they can be like, this is great, right? You know,
they're
and you're going to listen
less
to them more than you're
reservations.
going to listen to somebody else.
And you know, my perspective in the past, you know, I've worked with phenomenal producers in the past, but I mean, to your point, it's kind of like if you're gonna get there where you want to go and spend the time and the money and the resources, perfect, that's fine. But it's best when you're ready for something of that nature. And trust me, when you are ready for something of that nature, life has a way of putting you in that position. Right. And that's one thing I've realized. I mean, if I think back at the, you know, 2, 3, 4 bands I've been in before this project, I mean, we still haven't broken even. Right. And I put out, these 3 singles and that EP of covers from YouTube, and 3-4 months in, I'm already in the green.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The cost of doing all DIY.
Well, the world changed too, so it's like that idea of like I got to go out and tour behind this, or I got to go out and I got to play 100 shows to try and
work
sell
at a huge
CDs, and
I got to work at Abbey Road and track things there.
You go, yeah.
No,
like nowadays, people are also more forgiving. Not necessarily when it comes to the writing of it, right? But I mean, not to go down the social media pipeline, but at the same time, it's like there's so many artists, and this is something that I haven't even done, and I want to get into it, which is, playing a lot of stuff that I haven't even released, like little nips and pieces, just to get people's perspective while it's already out. Because now you can build hype, and second, let's be honest, who gives a shit who the hell I'm at? Who am I right now, right? So that whole mindset of, oh, I can't really put it out because like that's for the birds. You see what I'm saying? Like, well, why are we talking about that, right? No one knows who you are. Just put your shit out there, and you could start that snowball effect.
Well, it's funny too. Like to your point, where don't want to let things out until they're done and this and that. Of Mice and Men, they released their new record, and they basically wrote most of it on Twitch, remotely. Like it was all home recordings. They didn't get together. They didn't go into a studio. They went on Twitch and they were like, let's write some shit. And they did. And they came out with it, and the album's fucking phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, if they're like not too big to be like, oh, well, you can't touch that.
Right.
Like, I think that's a great, awesome mindset. I like that.
I agree with that mindset of like, also of like, not taking ourselves let's not put ourselves on pedestals that aren't even built, you know what I mean? Like, so I like that too. It's kind of like, I can't let the people hear it, and it's like, dude, even if you sell 1,000 of these, it's new to everyone. Like, like that's great. No one knows you,
dude. I used to stress myself out every like the few hours before the release. Something will go wrong, right? Whether if it's someone didn't post something at the right time, or we got the wrong link, or me, I clutched out and messed something up, right? And I'm freaking out. And so nowadays it's like, listen, it'll be like 12:31 in the morning, and I'm like, oh snap, I forgot to put the banner. Let me put the new banner, right? So I'm like, right. Now it's so much more stress free, just because I'm like, oh, really? Who the hell's staying up till 2 in the morning anyway? I mean, maybe there's a few people out there, and if you are and you're listening, I fucking love you to death, right?
Right, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you could also wait till 9 in the morning. It's like Black Friday.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
100%. So, one of the other things I wanted to ask, just from watching your videos, like you do all the stuff yourself musically. Do you have like who does your video? Like, your videos are really well shot, and they're conceptualized really well. They look great. Like, who do you conceptualize that while you're doing the music? Do you have the major hand in that, or do you have
so as far as, let me just kind of circle back, right? So so Problems, Bonnie and Clyde, and Can't Feel, those my friend from actually New York, Christian Lawrence, he was the person that shot those videos, right?
Okay.
As far as like edits and stuff like that, we'll always go kind of back and forth and kind of get that perspective, just because I was talking earlier about YouTube, and that was not only was I trying to learn everything on the music side, but I also wanted to understand the world of Final Cut and how to edit and lighting and color correction. So now I like to think that I'm versed in that for what I like, right? For where my mindset's at. So that's kind of where we're at now, right? So, but those videos, I mean, Christian and Wes, who directed a lot of the videos as well, he definitely did. They both definitely did their thing. And as far as the editing and the concept and how we want kind of like the storyline to kind of go, it was definitely locking arms, all three of us. And, we definitely had a lot of bicker sessions, right? But, family, right? You can't get to that end product if you don't go back and forth.
Nah, you if you get 3 artists in a room and they're agreeing on everything, it's not very good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They just want to get it done and get to the next thing.
Right.
Yeah. Facts. But I'll tell you, like, there's a lot more. Like, I got a few more things coming out next year. I'm not too sure if you guys saw the last press, but I know second week of January we're going to be releasing my next EP. Right. It's titled Breathe. And it's funny. I had to look down because I actually have a tattooed on my hand. Nice. I was like, "What's the name?" Oh yeah, Breathe, right there, right.
I saw the picture of the hand of your hand, on your I think on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. And for that and some other raw concepts that I have, I'm going to be doing a lot of like DIY myself, right? Maybe getting different people to help me out as far as like concept or holding the camera and stuff like that. But there's going to be a lot more of me behind the wheel, just because that's something I kind of want to get into too, right? I want to get into directing. I want to get into maybe helping people out with their own concepts too, right? As we get into 2022, right? And then we just finished shooting a huge video, which was with my boy Brad, who's done like a lot of work with I can't remember if it was like back in the day. He's helped a lot of different bands. He's local here in Maryland too. But we were able to do another song that's going to be coming out in the summer next year as well. So
nice.
A lot more to come. And I appreciate you guys giving us some love, giving the team love with the visuals.
Commercial break.
All right, so we just played the fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw our new sponsor next to us at the fair.
Right.
Any of you that have ever been to festivals, one of the coolest spots to go to is that spot that's selling you sodas where the copper mugs.
Oh, they're the best.
Wild Bill's, dude.
Yes. And you don't just have to go to a fair to get their stuff anymore. You can go to drinkwildbills.com and they'll send it right to your house.
They sent that ginormous box to us.
Huge box of stuff, and it made me realize that Wild Bill's isn't just soda.
Yeah, I thought it was at first, but man, the jerky and
nuts and coffee.
Oh man, snack foods, coffee, everything.
And if you go there now, drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, of course, and you get 10% off.
Oh, dude, check it out. Stick with us because we're going to be letting you know how that coffee tastes. We're going to be doing some tasting episodes on literally everything in the box.
Yes.
So stick with us. But, dude, you've had it. You've been at fairs. I've bought it. I bought that mug. It's awesome. I love it.
And now, again, we're heading into the winter months. It's going to get a little colder. No more fairs. Just have it delivered right to your door.
Drinkwildbills.com.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say. Once. Check it out. Promo code BACON.
Hey, what's up, everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather here, and you've been consuming Bacon Is My Podcast.
Oh, yeah. They look great. They're all distinct. They're all I love the storyline of Bonnie and Clyde. I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole concept is great, and you get it right away too. It's like it visually works so well with the lyrics that it's a perfect mesh of that, and it's really well shot and it's well done. And then you look at Problems, which is super cool. Now that one I think is great because it has like the whole barbershop thing, right? And I get that. But I had a very different experience growing. I grew up in the Midwest, like I said. My mom is a hairdresser, so I was always around. What we call salons, which is a very different experience than anything I've ever.
Very yappy.
It's yeah. I don't feel that salons are part of my culture and upbringing, whereas the barbershop I find to be much more of a cultural thing. Can you explain just a little bit, what made the barbershop like such an important part of culture, and explain that to me as someone that grew up sweeping floors in salons?
Nah, definitely, man. Listen, it's not only Dominicans, right? It's just the culture, right? No matter if you're Hispanic, if you're Black. I mean, obviously, barbershops, you got to have a good barber, right? And for us, that's truly where, where we bullshit, where some people learn how to go on each other, like make fun of each other, right? Where some people learn how to honestly kind of mature into that final hairdo or haircut version of yourself, right? Because that's really where it happens, right? And some people vent, some people scream, some people that's kind of like their happy place in a sense. But at the end of the day, it's just the culture, man. You got to have a lineup. You have to have your shape up. You got to be fresh to death, right? And the barbershop for me was also special just because Miguel, who's my specific barber, he's the owner of that barbershop, right? And him and I, we've been close since I started going to him when I first shaved my head, right when I started singing. So he's been seeing the evolution of my artistry, because every time, like, I got to run to him before I had to like fly out or I had to go on another tour, and he's always been curious about that. So we would always talk, vent. He'll ask me 1,001 questions, and then when we were when I was looking at and talking with Christian and Wes about like different locations and what to do and what songs we wanted to do before I started building the team that I have now, I knew I wanted to end the year with problems, just because not only I had a lot of shit going on in my personal life, especially this year, and I wanted to end the year just venting and getting it all out. Even though Problems isn't the catchiest single for me, it was more of it needs to come out for me, right? Kind of just exactly. And then the second thing, obviously, Miguel, he's always wanted to support me, and he was like, bro, why don't you do it here? And I never thought about that. And when I told Chris and Wes that, they were like, bro, I was like, I don't know what the barbershop would look like. And they looked at me with like the sinister smirk, and they're like, bro, have you ever been to a barbershop at nighttime? And I was like, hell no. Who goes to a barbershop at nighttime? It was like, right. They're like, exactly. Wait till you see what we do with it. And that was it. We were there till 4 in the morning. And, Miguel was just like, here's the keys. I'm going home. I'm about to knock the hell out. And that was it, bro. And I'm so happy and proud. And, I was there on Friday shaving my head. And they played on every single screen. They had it on rotation.
Oh, that's so awesome.
They were so cool. Proud about it,
See, I never got that experience, man. Something about suburban white Indiana. I did not get the experience. I had to learn it from like Ice Cube.
Yeah,
it's the only way. And coming to America, I was like, wow, why are they not like that?
See, I had that going for me.
Yeah,
and
you
then
did.
I had that going for me for a little while, and then I moved, and then had it going for a second, and then the guy retired, and then I had it going for a second, and then it was like, then I had the barber before I found this one. I told him what I wanted, and he's like, no, it's not balanced. You can't do that. And I said, I'm going to give you money to do what I just asked you to do.
This is an exchange program.
This is, you do this, I give you money. And long and short of it, he fucked it up too. But so during COVID, I decided that I was going to just shave my head myself. And
I like that.
It worked out for a little while, and then so like I had the sides going.
Right.
I had the sides going, and then I was growing the top, and then wifey was like, "Hey, you got to trim that top," and I'm like, "I just want to grow it." She's like, "Nah, this dead ends, this and that." I tried the trimming. Bad idea.
And then he was bald the next day.
And then I was bald the next day, and I took off my hat. And
you look like, even though you have your hat on, you look like you have.
I have like the faux hawk going. But I found a new barber.
That's good.
And I actually went today. I went Wednesday, but we went with my son today, and my son wants to grow his hair out, and that was not a pleasant barber experience. Because he doesn't, we try and comb his hair, and he's like, I don't want to do this. I said, okay, well, you got to like start doing this, and then, but it was like
a lot of my headband. This is what I do while I'm growing it out. I do the headband.
But it's very much like today we talked about medieval times.
Yeah,
at the barbershop, and you just start the barbershop I found now. They have a bar there.
Yeah, my guitar player has a pretty sick barbershop that he goes to forever too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so every barbershop usually that I end up going to, I mean, there's definitely not a bar, but we definitely find a way to get those drinks in.
Where there's a will, man.
It turns into. You know, it's funny. I was in one down in North Carolina. Like anytime I go out, I'm always the first thing I research is Dominican barbershop, and there's always one, right? You just got to find the nearest hood, right? And boom, it's gonna be right there. And the one I went to, they had like hookah. There was fucking food. I mean, it was like. It was amazing. I was like, bro, like, what the hell? I call Miguel. I'm like, bro, you got to do better, man. You got to do better, man.
See, man,
step it up, Miguel.
See, man, I grew up in, you know, like I said, suburban salons. We don't have any of that. We have, I think they have like
wine coolers.
No, not even wine coolers. They have like jazzercise yoga.
Oh, sweet.
Like, hey, you know, yoga's awesome, but man, give me a bar. Give me some hookah. Give me some.
Yeah, well, actually, none of the barbers that I went to prior to this had any bars.
Okay,
so don't feel that bad.
The one you did, it's Dominican Power in Tacoma Park. It's the one, right? So I definitely want to make sure and shout that out. So anybody that's listening, that's in
Dominican Power all day, every day, man.
Yeah, man. Head over there and get them some more business, and maybe they'll put in a bar.
There you go.
Yeah,
make them that bar money.
Or at least get a hookah.
Exactly.
So real quick, we do have to pay some bills.
Yes, we do. Speaking of that,
we have a sponsor. They're called Poddex, and what Poddex is for people who don't have verbal diarrhea like we do, and want to start a podcast and just need like little icebreakers. They need subjects, things like that. So Poddex has some decks. They're 50 cards in each, and it helps you steer you right in the right direction.
Yeah.
So they have a whole bunch of different decks, from episode things and questions to ask guests. And
so we're gonna let you pick a deck. We'll give you the titles of the decks, and then we're gonna pick a random question from one of those for you to answer right here on the air.
Yes.
Yeah, just like that.
Because you haven't been answering enough questions.
Right.
From us. We just So they have episode deck. Don't pick that one. Interview deck 1, interview deck 2. Would you rather? What the heck? How dare you?
Has to be said like that.
It has to be said like that, like Mr. Big Head from Rocco's Modern Life.
Yep.
And what the fuck? So out of those 7 decks, which one would you like to pick from?
I mean, listen, we got to go to how dare you? We got to go to that.
Yes. Got to do it.
So while I shuffle this,
Mike is going to shuffle, and I am going to tell everyone that's listening to head on over to poddex.com to check these out. They sell them by the deck, or there's combinations. They have all kinds of cool swag there as well. They're a really cool company. They're a smaller company, and they actually do the owner does seminars and stuff where he talks about podcasting and helps out new podcasters. That's kind of their whole game over there. If you do pick out some stuff, you can use the promo code BACON,
because everything is better with bacon, right, Rauli?
That's always, baby.
Always, and that's why you'll get 10% off your entire order right over at poddex.com.
So what we're going to do here is I'm going to fan these out.
Yep.
And he's going to put his finger.
My finger's going from my left to right, your right to left, for those of you that are just listening.
You tell us when to stop.
Bacon.
Right there. We have the card. Here's for you, ASMR people.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Rauli V, it's gonna be given up a little bit. You know, I hope this doesn't get you in trouble. But have you ever stolen something from a store?
Oof. Yes, I have. Yes, I have, man. I
hope we don't get you extradited to the Dominican Republic for this.
Nah. Okay. Actually, it did happen in the Dominican Republic, though. I remember stealing, like, the first time, definitely I got caught. I was like, shit. I was in 5th grade. I was with one of my best friends at the time. His name's Franklin Malte. We were in the supermarket over there called El Nacional, and it was the one right next door to my house. Like, conspicuous. Like, you know, everybody knows I live right next door, right?
Right. Poor choice.
Right? Exactly. you know, 12, 13-year-old Omar goes, grabs them, and they catch me. I mean, it was like probably the worst 007 mission in the world, right?
What was it?
It was like a pack of gum. Over there, we have a gum called Boobaloo, and it's like the gum is it's perfect for like the first 5 seconds, and then the flavor's gone.
It's like fruit stripes.
Yeah, it's like something, and it just pops. And you're like, oh my God, this is great. But yeah, no, so I grabbed it. I really wanted one, and my mom whooped my ass in front of every single person in that Shoppers. And then, man, that was definitely the first time and the last time in that situation.
Yeah.
And that is why Rauli V has become a musician and hasn't gotten into a life of crime.
That's right. That's right. See? Scared straight. Scared straight. I had a similar experience with gum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my mom walked me right back in first and made me hand it to the cashier and explain to them that I stole it, and then wanted me to explain to them why I thought I could steal it.
Wow.
She was like, now you tell her why you thought you could take this without paying for it.
Oof.
And I was just like, I'm so sorry.
Like, see, I've actually never stolen anything from a store.
That's good. Good for you.
Actually, so I went to Stu Leonard's, right? Mm-hmm. And I bought a whole
Stu
bunch
Leonard's
of stuff.
is a big like kind of grocery store here, it's kind of a specialty one. Everything's a little too expensive, but they have some really nice stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I got beer, and I left it underneath the cart, and I felt really bad. And I went back, and they actually cut me through the line. I was like,
"Oh, you went back for it to tell them?"
I did.
At you. You're a good person.
It was Blue Moon Horchata.
Oh man,
nice.
Blue Moon Horchata.
I'll tell you. So when I moved to America, when I was like 17 or something like that. I remember it was crazy to me that here you couldn't drink. Obviously in DR everybody drink. Once you're over 12, 13, everybody's drinking. So because drinking is so accessible, people don't drink. Like no one's like, oh, we're getting fucked up today, right?
Right.
It's like, bro, you're doing the most. Like you'll see 14-year-olds like, you're doing the most, bro. It's just a beer, right? Because it's so accessible. Over here, when I moved over, I was like, yo, you can't drink. What the hell's going on? And I remember stealing 2 Mad Dog 2020, bro.
Ooh, quality.
We have a Mad Dog 2020 story. Yeah.
Oh man,
what flavor?
It was green and purple.
Ooh.
I guess like lime. I don't even know.
I would bet they taste like green and purple.
I bet they do.
That's exactly what they did, man. I remember it was like, go ahead.
No, well, we drank Mad Dog 2020 because we found it. We do some like conference work on the side and stuff. So we travel, and in Seattle, because it closes at fucking 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
It's ridiculous.
We went to 7-Eleven. And he saw it. He's like, Mad Dog 2020. We need to get this.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
Why?
It was there. And I was like,
I said, why? Because
we're going to be 13 tonight.
Yeah. And it was orange 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And it did taste like orange, but the color, not the fruit.
Right. Yeah.
There's a big difference. The color and the fruit or the juice.
And then we watched Lucha Underground. I think
we watched Lucha Underground. Yeah. That was our night in Seattle because we were like, oh, we're going to Seattle. I can't wait to go see bands and like check stuff out. The music from here shaped our
existence.
Yeah. And then we saw like a couple bands, and then it started going around, and every place was closing, and we were like, what
is going on?
What?
But that's what happens. Listen, that's what happens when you live in New York.
Right.
DC, Miami, LA, you'll go anywhere else and you'll be like, what the hell? Do you guys have like curfew or something? Like what's going on?
Right.
Like last night I was in Baltimore, and I sometimes forget that Baltimore's everything out there closes like last call's at 1 a.m. right in Baltimore.
1 o'clock, because they're out by 2, right? Everybody's got to be like done at 2.
Exactly. DC, last call is 4, right? So sometimes it's 3 a.m. and you're out at 4. The good spots it's 4 and you're out by 5, right?
Right.
So, but sometimes I forget when I'm out or when I hit a different state or something like that.
Yeah. I'll do that too. I'll go out and I'll find a place and I'll be hanging out. I'm like, okay, so where's the after hours? And they're like, what?
We're going home, bro. Yeah.
What? Where's like house party? What's going on? And they're like, no, like we're gonna go sleep and we're going home. Son of a what?
Yeah, I was Seattle.
Yeah.
But and then the second night we were just like, we struck out 2 nights in a row. Let's just go see a movie.
Yeah.
So we went on a date. We saw a movie.
We did. We went on a date and saw a movie.
We didn't even drink.
No drinks. Yeah. No drinks.
Oh well. Okay. So you said you were a gamer. Are you still a gamer, or are you too busy for that, or what's going on with that?
I'm never too busy to play.
You see that chair he's sitting in, man? You see that chair he's sitting in?
Okay.
Right.
So he likes to talk to people about current games, because he actually has current games.
Yes.
I like to talk to people about retro games, because that's what I remember playing, and that's what I'm trying to get my kids into. And yeah, you know what? Like, at first, it was really cool. Then I gave them my PlayStation 4, and they go back to these games, and they're like, "What is this trash?" You want me?
Dad, these graphics are subpar.
There's only 2 buttons. There's
Why
2
do you
buttons
like
in
this so
directions.
much? These graphics are trash.
Right.
But
it's jump and run. That's it.
Right. Exactly.
Listen, I'll never forget, like, the first time I did like a try attack on like a 3-character attack on Chrono Trigger. I was amazed. I was like, oh my God, this is like fucking amazing.
But what got you into gaming? Like, where did you start?
What'd you grow up on?
Dude, so I started playing Counter-Strike. That was my game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like 1.2, like, before all the stuff that we have now, right?
So you're a PC guy.
Yes, I am definitely a computer gamer PC guy. Like I'm my hands are meant to be like this. I can't the controller, I can't do I tried the only time I ever got good playing controller games, right? On console, right, was when I got my ass handed to me on Call of Duty when back on the Xbox 360, I can't even remember. So I was so mad that I bought an Xbox the next day just to learn how to play.
Just to get good? Yeah.
I whooped the guy's ass and then I sold it the next day. Bro, I mean,
that's pride.
Bravo to you.
I was ready, man. I was ready.
Respect.
Right? No, but I'm definitely a computer gamer, man. I started playing Counter-Strike almost honestly right around the same time I started playing guitar. So a lot of the similar friends that I had back in Dominican Republic, those were the 2 things that we were playing. It was like when Unreal Tournament was on all the computer games in school and shit like that. And we're like, Counter-Strike's graphics are so much better than this shit. Right. And then we'll go and play Counter-Strike. And I did a lot of LAN parties and tournaments. I would play professionally as well on the island. Right.
Wow. Okay.
Win a bunch of different stuff. I loved playing that shit. Until today, I still play CSGO. Right. I still play it still today as well. And other than that, other than that, obviously, Chrono Trigger was imperative for my childhood. Right. I mean, that's why my tag is Chronos, right, with the Z and a K. Because it comes from Chrono Trigger, but that game I've played it over and over and over and over again. And then other than that, that's eventually how I got into World of Warcraft, right? Because if you play Chrono, of course you're gonna start playing Final Fantasy, and if you play Final Fantasy, you start thinking about StarCraft and Warcraft, and then I ended up down that rabbit hole, and then WoW took over 6 years of my life.
That happens. Do you do it do you do streams and stuff like that, or
I want to get into it? Or I definitely want to get into more stuff on Twitch, or maybe using the YouTube platform that I have just to kind of showcase that. That's one thing that I don't want to say I don't have the time. I could always make the time if I give a shit about it, right? I just haven't been able to figure out the streaming side of it, right? Because I got the cameras, I got everything like that, but to kind of go through the day, I just need to stumble into it and just fumble.
We can help you out a little bit with the streaming aspect, but somebody else who's a fellow WTF guy, just like yourself and us, Jeff Todd from I Call Fives, he does that stuff too.
Streams,
and, he's big into it. He's got an endorsement deal with
his channel.
What is it, C4 and So we'll get you.
We'll hook you guys up.
Please, man, because I would love to. I would love to just go ahead and kind of go down the motion of it. Because to your point, these are retro games, but these are games that if we wanted to unpack it, I'll learn so much from them. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think back at like Counter-Strike and like when I was scrimming 5-on-5 and having like, you know, knee-jerk reactions, being able to, you know, do shit and like in pressure point, you know. I don't know. For me, I'm like, okay, how do I relate that to the music side? Where if I'm in a fucking interview or podcast, or if I got to sell myself to, you know, someone that wants to invest into me, can I just pivot, shift, and strategize around that? You know?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Invaluable lessons. Hey man, more than just hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
You know,
I played the wrong game.
Solving.
Problem
solving. Dude.
I literally only have a PS4 for like wrestling video games.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then like sometimes superhero video games when I hear that they're good and they finally go on sale at GameStop.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's been out for like
so good
2 years, so I think I can get it now.
I'm more of a consoler. Yeah, I'm like I played a few online games, or a few PC games, but mostly it's been console. That's why when you said the Chronos, I immediately went to God of War and not. You know, like I was like,
okay. You know, that makes sense. No, so on console, I really got into obviously Call of Duty. I got into God of War. But I also got into Mass Effect. Like I was in love with Mass Effect.
Yeah, I want to go back and play that again. Like I want to. They're coming out with there's a reissue coming out, and then there's a new one coming out, and I want to go back.
I was gonna say supposedly they're gonna be redoing Chrono Cross. They're gonna be redoing it and kicking it out.
Yeah, I heard that too, which is pretty exciting. So I'll definitely be jumping on those as well.
The real reason, behind the curtain here, or the drum set used to be in the center. The reason why they moved over to that side is because I want a Ninja Turtles arcade console over there.
I like that.
That's my video game.
Turtles in Time.
That was not like a big stand-up arcade.
Oh no, it wasn't. That's right. It was just
fucking novice.
So I was gonna say, so I just moved the studio into this room that I'm in right now. Before I have it, like in the other room where I usually had it, I have these canvases of all like the retro games that got me into the place where I'm at now. Yeah. And on top, I just ordered 3 like instrumental pieces that are all like vehicle based. And the first one I just got is the Ninja Turtle.
Oh
yes,
man. Jimmy, can you go ahead and get that? I recently got a birthday gift from a friend, and
hell yeah, oof,
bam,
oof, dude. You know what? A buddy of mine, a really close friend. His name's Matt Gischel. He lives in Baltimore. He's become like a master 3D, whatever the hell they're called. I can't remember.
Oh, 3D printing?
3D printing?
Yeah. 3D print, bro. He has been killing it. And he made the Green Ranger helmet, Shredder edition. And literally the Green Ranger reached out to him and ended up fucking wanting it. And now he has.
Really?
Dude, it's fucking dope shit, bro.
Well, actually, so I've been working on trying to get him, Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
But because supposedly he's got a like a whole Green Ranger series coming out, like a web series.
Yeah.
Where, so like I've been trying to like get in contact with some of the actors and stuff like that, and just be like, hey, you want to come on a podcast and be like, hey,
hang out with us.
I'm hanging out with this guy, and like so that'll be pretty awesome, because I was a Power Rangers guy too.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, Ninja Turtles is big. That's a big one.
Ninja Turtles is my heart and soul.
Yes, it is
for sure.
If you had to pick between Power Rangers or Beetleborgs.
Ninja Turtles. I'm sorry.
No. Power Rangers.
I'm sorry. Power Rangers.
That's his answer anyway. Whatever. Ninja Turtles.
No, that is my answer. But no, Power Rangers. Power Rangers for sure.
We'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And before we get into this week, if one episode just isn't enough for you, and you need a little bit more Bacon is My Podcast, head on over to patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast. Over there, you will get access to monthly live streams, discounts on merch, early and commercial-free access to Bacon is My Podcast episodes. Some of them are even extended surprise giveaways, additional shows, including Tasting is My Passion, and, of course, Cooking with Bacon is My Passion. And oh yeah, you get a crap ton of music. That's right, all of Jimmy and Mike's bands, previous, current, whatever it is, you'll get access to that music, demos, and much, much more. Just head on over to patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast and learn what the hoopla is all about.
Hi, my name is Patty Negri. I am a psychic, medium, and good witch, and I am consuming Bacon is My Podcast.
Yeah, I think I'd go Power Rangers too.
Yeah.
It's close though. Beetleborgs are sweet.
Yeah, Beetleborgs
is cool.
Yeah.
Another thing, like gaming wise, that reminds me of Ninja Turtles that I still love, not more than Ninja Turtles, but nobody brings it up anymore.
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Battletoads. I love playing that on Sega Genesis, man.
Do you remember when they did Battletoads and Double Dragon?
Oh my god! Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, I do.
That was fire. That was like the only thing that could top that was when Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers had their crossover.
Yeah, that comic was pretty fun.
That was the Power Ranger Space or something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that was like the Ninja Turtles when they added the girl Ninja Turtle. And,
yeah.
Womp womp. But in the comic books, because I don't know if you keep up with the Ninja Turtle comic books at all, but they actually they got a little bit more adult.
Mm-hmm.
And then they actually had
more adult.
Well, yeah, but then they got more Archie, and then they went to Image and whatever. But they did a crossover with freaking Batman.
I remember that. Yeah, I did.
I remember hearing about that.
It is
sick.
Dope.
It's really
cool. Is awesome. I would totally recommend doing it.
Are you a comic book guy?
Batman is the second.
Oh,
so I ordered 3 cars, right? I got this one,
the Ninja Turtle van, we got the Batmobile,
and then
the Keaton Batmobile.
Yeah, and then because I'm a sucker, and literally, I don't know if you can see my tattoo on my finger, which is a flux capacitor.
Oh,
I had to bring it to Back to the Future.
Nice, we got, and once again, we're gonna prove that we're falling in love here. Look at this.
That's what I'm talking about.
We got the out of time license plate.
Hell yeah.
And I don't have any memorabilia here, but I do have all my Batman tattoos.
Ooh. Oh hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm more of a Flash guy, you know. I'm more of a Flash guy.
What do you think of the show?
On CW?
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought it was great. I really dig it. You know, there's some wonky CG.
Yeah.
Well,
there's some there's like a taste of corniness, right?
Yeah. Gorilla Grodd's a little weird, but he's also dope as shit. And then there's King Shark.
Yeah. Well, see, from what I understand with Flash, you gotta give in to the campiness and the corniness.
Yeah, they did a really good job with it, I thought.
Like Arrow, you're like, when there was corny stuff, you're like, oh, it's corny. Right. Yeah. But with Flash, it's like, all right, I'll allow it.
Well, Arrow, as much as I loved Arrow, and I really did, I liked it a lot. I still always felt like you couldn't get the rights to Batman, so you made Batman and called him Oliver Queen.
That's exactly what they did.
Because the Arrow in the comics wasn't Batman.
Now let me ask you this.
Let
me ask you this. Did you fall in love with Gotham?
I did.
I loved it.
Gotham, I thought it was so cool.
Fire.
Yeah.
Gotham was fire, man.
I also fell in love with Catwoman, Selena Kyle on Gotham.
Oh yeah, she's great.
She fucking killed it, man.
So good, man.
I feel like especially the guy, like anybody who made it from the first season to the last season, anybody that they brought in was awesome. So Edward Nigma, Oswald Cobblepot,
bro,
Selena Kyle,
dude.
I love Alfred
too. Oh yeah.
Man, like all of them were great, but like some of them that they brought in the middle, Like I was really looking forward to what's his name becoming Joker.
I
didn't, because I liked Shameless.
Yes.
Shameless was a good show,
but
but
he's
an excellent actor.
Excellent actor, but he was an
first-
excellent Joker too. I thought he was great.
I thought he was better in
great.
the beginning than he was at the end.
Yeah,
I didn't like him in the last episode.
I didn't when they like brought him back. I wasn't a fan, but at first I was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
I bought in. I was
he's
all
good,
in.
man."
Yeah.
The Azil.
Yep.
He was not great.
Mm-hmm.
What was
I like the premise of the show though. I really did.
Yeah,
I thought it
it's
was
great.
Really cool. I mean, I did look at it and go like, this throws a lot of the age things off when I'm reading the comics, but
But what I loved it was that like that time around, and mind you, I'm huge. Like I watch all the DC, Marvel, everything. Right?
Yeah.
And what I loved about Gotham was that it made it feel like Gotham was its own character, like the city of Gotham. Where
and
in
it's
yeah, and like when you look at it, like when you look at all the villains and stuff like that, and DC has the best villains in my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a plethora of them, and that go underutilized. And the way they spun it made you want them to win so much. I love it.
Yeah. What's fun is you the fact that you brought up DC having the best villains.
I was going to say we just had this conversation.
We literally just had this conversation a couple episodes ago, and it
was about between Spider-Man and Batman,
right?
Yeah. So because Rogue's Gallery of both of them is crazy.
And the parallel, Spider-Man's the only one that has like villains that you're like. Yeah,
mysterious.
I back that.
But what's funny is this:
Batman's and Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery almost line up too with
sort of. Let's hang out for a second.
Right,
let's
slow down.
Let's chill. So, as Mr. Freeze would say, chill.
Mr. Freeze wouldn't say that.
No, he wouldn't
Arnold
say that.
Freeze
Arnold
would say that.
Arnold Freeze
Arnold
would say
Freeze,
that. But that's still great. It's still great. But so. The Batman villains are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right? The Spider-Man villains are fucking awesome. But the Batman villains, you're like, so believable. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
But you think about it, none of the Batman villains are really like a physical threat to Batman. Bane, yes.
Well, right.
There are exceptions.
Killer Croc,
Bane, but like Joker, Riddler.
Right. But see, for me, I feel like the ones I like the most were the ones that psychologically, mentally would affect. Right? Like the ones that you just mentioned. Because like
there's your answer.
If you go toe to toe with Batman, I mean he got all it's like Tony Stark, right? You got all the money in the world, right? You're physically there, right? You obviously did all this training. Like, bro, you gotta whoop my ass, right? It doesn't make sense. However, what you haven't really fully mastered is that I'm mentally fucked up, and I'm about to bring you here because you got a lot of demons in you that haven't been unpacked. Right? That was my take on it.
Right.
Okay.
And I know your weakness, and
sense.
you're not going to go to the level that I'm going to go, and I'm going to push you to try to because that's going to mess you up more.
That's okay. Yeah. So that is why they're a threat. Because I couldn't figure out why all of Spider-Man's foes are a viable physical threat.
Well, I think you also have to look at the fact that Spider-Man, the character, has superpowers and Batman doesn't. So if you give Batman superpowered enemies, it starts to kind of go like, okay, it's cool because when he does come up against enemies that are more superpowered, there's a story there.
Yeah.
But it's like, how many times can you go to that well? Like you have to give him, and he's based around being the detective and being, like you got to base him around a psychological threat.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where he's got to fight from. Whereas Spider-Man, you have to, his enemies are all about making him make choices because everything about Spider-Man is how he's always screwing it up.
Yeah. Right. See, for me, I feel like Spider-Man is the mirror version of what the Flash would be. Because to your point, the Flash, he has that persona, that charismatic, that glue in a sense when he's on the team, but when he's also doing his own stuff himself, it's always based around the decisions he makes, how he fucked up, what he, what I'm saying? It's a lot, it's a lot of similarities.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
mentally,
You're selling me.
Mentally, Batman is always above everyone.
Right.
Mentally, Spider-Man is always below them because he's still
learning.
For the most part, he was always a kid.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this kid fighting with an adult. And so it's this kid brain, even though he's got all these powers and all this stuff, still against an adult brain. And he makes rash decisions and things happen. And then it's his guilt. Because that's Spider-Man and Batman are similar in the way that their entire stories are based on guilt.
Yeah.
But it's just two different versions of it. Whereas Batman's guilt manifests in this like crazy, like strong-willed, vengeful hardness, whereas Spider-Man takes his guilt and he turns it into like, oh, when I put this on, I can joke, and everything's like hide behind and push it down, like I if you had like a mental health specialist sit with both of them, it would be really crazy. I think it'd be very interesting to see where they end up on those spectrums.
Yeah, I would love that.
Two extremely damaged people, that lost people and dealt with it in different ways, which is an interesting dynamic of.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
to get super heady into Spider-Man and Batman.
So as opposed to the last a couple episodes ago when I was still unfulfilled, where I was like, yeah, but all the Spider-Man villains are more physical, like threats.
Right.
There you go.
Mental threats.
Yeah.
There you go.
And now I've learned something.
Right.
You, sir, have learned me something.
That's what I'm here. I'm here all day, baby.
Yeah. Speaking of mental health, I will take it back to songwriting and lyrics and stuff like that, because one of the things that happens and comes up in your songs is a lot about like self-worth, trust, loss, things like that, which I think is I think as a songwriter we all kind of identify with, because I've said before, it's like you don't do this because you want to do it, you do it because you have to do it. Like if I could do anything else, that'd be great, but it's like you have to do this. This is what keeps us from driving off bridges. This is what what I mean, like but one thing that I do find is there's a certain point, at least for me, there was a couple points where I got to feel like something that I wrote or something that I said or something that I did actually made a difference or mattered to somebody. And I love those positive kind of things. Do you have like a memory that you hold on to or something that you hang on to of a time where you actually got to feel that, where you felt like somebody was like, you did something that made a difference?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, man. Dude, I mean, there's a lot of points you touch on, but I've had numerous times, thankfully, I'm very humbled that I have, and more importantly, of these people that have reached out, or if I've seen them in person, whatever, they've been willing to get vulnerable. Right. And tell me that I've been able to affect them in other different ways and stuff like that. Like, I mean, like you said, with my music, there's a lot of pain in my music, right? And a lot of that comes internally. On my left arm, I have a line.
That's beautiful, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't even know how this camera works, but here you go. But it says "a mal tiempo cara buena," right? And it's a phrase, it's a Dominican phrase, and it just says, during rough times, that's when you have to put your best face, right? And for me, I mean, I feel like I've been doing that my entire life. I've even had opportunities stripped away, right? Because people think I have it together and I have everything lined up when I'm fucking as broken as anybody else, right? And you feel that really through the music, right? I mean, even if you go through my catalog and you just listen, like the stuff that are authentically mine, whether if it's what I'm writing now or in the previous projects I've been a part of, it'll make you kind of sit there and be like, God damn, like who the fuck broke this, right? Yeah. And for the people I've connected with, in the past, I remember talking, I was in Florida once, and I was on doing a run with obviously I was fronting a band at the time, and I was with a bigger band on tour supporting. And I remember the Spanish kid pulled me into the back in Miami, and we were just talking through a lot of emotions, right? The first connection obviously being the fact that of him listening to rock music, being, Afro-Latin, and not understanding where he fits, right? And being able to kind of see a lot of himself in me, especially when I started spitting shit in Spanish. She's like, oh shit, like this nigga fucking really speaks Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Really from here. And when we were talking through it, he was also bringing me into all of his pain, right? And what certain things meant for him and how he related to certain words and things like that, right? And for me, it was meaning something completely different, but to hear his perspective and how it got him through the situation for him, which he was dealing at the time through like a breakup in a sense, but while he was hearing the song, what he was telling me was that he grew to realize that he was the toxic piece, right? And he wasn't able to identify or understand that piece until he took a step back and he started listening to the words that I had in the song at the time. And he was just like, bro, like, honestly, I thought I was the only fucked up individual. And I didn't even realize I was the person issuing the harm until I heard you take that ownership. And it told me, like, bro, what am I doing? Let this person go, because all I'm doing is just ruining their entire world right now, right? But yeah, man, I mean, definitely a lot of pain in what I do, and I'll never let that moment go, just because it was I want to say the first time we had a huge lineup and a huge crowd where it was 80-90% Latin in Latin and Black in the stage, and for me that meant a lot. I remember tearing up after like the third song. I was just like, God damn, bro, I'm in my feels right now.
That's awesome, man. Like I always appreciate that, and I wonder that because we as songwriters and as musicians, I feel like we all kind of like feel like we're going through a lot of this by ourselves, and even one thing you said really kind of like hit me there, where you said that like you've missed opportunities because people thought you had all your shit together. And it's like, dude, I feel that so completely, because we're always trying to make sure that whatever anybody sees, it looks as pro as possible and as together as possible, so that they feel like they might want to work with us, or they might want to check us out or give us a chance or something like that. But then you risk that line of someone seeing it and saying like, oh, you've already got it, so we don't need to give you the opportunity. And it's like that idea that like, if you've got your shit together, you never get to be the underdog. You never get to be the one that people are trying to push up and lift up. And it's a weird place to be, because you're also like, yo, I'm nowhere, man. Like I could really use some lift. And then, but then also like when you start to realize that there are other musicians, just like when you're growing up and you're listening to music and something hits you and you attach it and you go, I'm not alone. When you talk to other musicians that like feel some of the same things or go through some of the same experiences that you do, and you have that like, yeah, man, we ain't alone. Like, holy shit, like we got the same thing. So I love hearing those stories of those times, because just like as songwriters, we are putting ourselves out there, and that's important for us to grow, and that's important for us to like heal and get through things. Knowing sometimes that the message was received and that it helped somebody just helps heal us as well.
And you said it like, you said that, somebody else not even just felt it, but that they were going through that too. And they were, the fact that you said that they were feeling just as vulnerable as you were at that time, that is like,
that's the
I don't think it's ever
go for
on the show. Like we've talked to a lot of songwriters and stuff like that, but I don't think it's ever been framed that way.
No, I don't think so either.
And like we talk about that shit all the time, but like for them to be able to come to you and go, hey, like I've done it before. I've done it to a couple of singers, and I'm like, yeah, dude, this is fucking hit me hard. And it's never been framed that way. So I think that's super important, that as songwriters we are vulnerable, but the fact that you're coming to us and you're going, hey, this hit me in this way, that's bravo to you.
So all you music listeners out there, if you ever get the chance to meet somebody that wrote something that mattered to you and meant something to you, tell them right away. Tell them, because
definitely tell them.
Because when they wrote it, man, they were going through some shit. And so just hearing that it matters, like it just adds on to like a, whew.
Yeah, it's crazy too, man. Because it was like when anytime I look at the body of work that I'm working on, the stuff that's not released, when it's so much, I'm like, God damn, I've had a hell of a year, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what because I don't know. I've never been able to like sit down and be like, you know what, today I want to write a song it's just gonna be a happy song, or hey, I want to have some girls twerking, right? Or I want to have some dudes popping bottles, right? Or some girls popping bottles, right? I mean, listen, I've never been able to like, hey, this is what I want to do. For me, it's like some fucked up shit happens, and I just fucking go off, right? And sometimes it's like it's out of my control. Sometimes, and that's why I look at the studio I created here in my house, and I love it because usually I'll grab my phone. The first thing I grab is my memos tab, and that thing has all. I'm talking about the most dumbest.
How many scrolls can we all go through as singers?
We've done this before. We've done this before where it's just like.
It's like 1, 2, 3, shit.
Yeah, man, and it just goes and goes, right? But now the difference, like I remember, like there's a song I have that's going to be out next year too, and it's called Enemigos, right? Enemy in Spanish, right? Enemigos, and that song, the intro of the song, it starts off with me just belting, like just belting in like a melodic kind of vibe, right? But it happened the moment I got some fucked up news. I literally was in the process of cleaning up the studio, and I ran downstairs. And the first thing that came out of me was that. It was fucking raw as shit. It didn't hit all the notes in the world. And then when I got to finishing the song, I was like, yo, I'm keeping that for that same belt. I didn't retrack it. I didn't try to do it again. I kept it the same. It starts and ends that song, right? And when you hear it, you fucking feel the fucking pain.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait to hear that now.
I'm like, yes,
absolutely.
This is cool. I mean, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. But like also at the same time, it's like, fuck, yes.
Isn't that fucked up? Because we're all like, you were really hurting and that really like all your emotion goes out there. Awesome. You had the worst time of your life? Fuck yeah. I want to hear it. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Hey, that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
If it ain't raw, it ain't real.
Hey, you know what? And that's what affected us coming up. Like we all have those things. We all have those bands and those albums that we fucking.
Those
it was
teenage
like, yeah,
man.
Yeah, man. That thing that got us through that breakup or that thing or that fight with the parents or that
corn, man.
That grounding.
Corn is that.
Yeah. Corn is
that first Corn record. You're just like, I hate everybody because I'm very sad.
Yeah.
Man. Like, I think about all the bands that got me, and I'm not gonna lie, that new metal phase, man, that shit got me through some shit. That shit a lot of shit, man.
I have a Breaking Benjamin tattoo.
He does.
That he relentlessly. Yeah.
I will always make fun of. Yes.
I will eventually get it covered up.
I will
because they.
Well, you know what? Hey, never cover it up, man. Never cover it.
No, I'm going to because I was kind of pressured into getting that. But
at
any rate,
you'll love what you love, man.
That's what, dude. I still remember. I can't remember the name of the record, but like there was this Slipknot record that came out, and I listened. Like I was going through a breakup at the time. I listened to that shit front to back. It was the one that had Vermilion on it, and that whole record.
Volume 3, I think
it was. Maybe I could probably look it up, but
no. Go ahead.
Yeah, that whole record got me through so much fucking shit, bro.
Yeah, we all have those. It's
I got you.
It's cool and it's sobering to think that we might have the chance to be the record that does that for somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a sobering and cool thing. So again, getting to have that, having someone come up to you and be like, "Yo, man, you fucking mean something to me." Like you get me. And that's important, man. Everybody needs to be understood. Everybody needs to be got.
It was volume 3. The Subliminal Verses.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes, yes. It also had Duality, where you found out that they do have an actual keg player.
Oh,
yeah. Well, we know we've taken up a lot of your time. Thank you so much. I'm going to wrap it up here just to give you the opportunity to have the rest of your day. But dude, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been a blast.
This has been
a lot of fun. Me here, man. I would love to come back anytime you guys, you are
welcome to come back. Open door policy. Anytime you have something you want to promote, anytime you have something you want to get off your chest, or if you just want to. If you want to come in and have a drink with us sometime, you let us know and we'll have you on and we'll do it. And we'll definitely absolutely have you do it again. And hit us up whenever you come to New York.
Oh, hell yeah. What part of New York are you guys staying in right now?
We're in Long Island right now. We're in not too far outside the city. So we're here. We're mobile. We're able to get anywhere. We're hovering.
It's a 40-minute train ride, so we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting like the real civilization.
Mm-hmm. But definitely let everybody know one more time where they can catch you, where they can catch your music, where they can catch you on socials, all that kind of stuff. I do want to say that I absolutely love the slogan for your YouTube channel. It's all about reactions, reviews, and renditions while providing you musicians with enough resources so we can all stay self-sufficient. I do enjoy that.
That's cool as shit.
Pretty awesome. Right, I liked it enough to where I had to like listen to the video a couple times to write it down because it's not written anywhere. You need to put that on something.
Yeah, no, I definitely do, man. And I want to get back into doing a lot more YouTube content because it was like I was doing it consistent for like almost 8 months, and then it got to a point I was sitting there and I was like, bro, fuck, man, like. Don't get me wrong, I love what I was doing, but I was like, I'm reporting. I felt like I was reporting the news instead of making it, right?
I get it because we like besides this show, right? Before this, we were doing I was doing a YouTube series. We're on for all you listening, we're on StrangerhoodTV.com, which is the Strangerhood TV YouTube channel. But I had a series of Will It Sound Good Acoustic where I was just grabbing a song and then playing it on acoustic guitar and singing it. And then he had a companion show called Will It Sound Good Heavy. So he was taking the song and making like a metal version of it and bringing it on. And man, those were super fun and they were super cool to do. And we have a bunch of them up there, but it's like, it's hard to keep those going.
Yeah.
Especially once this started happening and we started like, okay, this is a thing now, and it's like, all right,
that's dynamic, man. But I definitely want to get back into it. Maybe not doing too many covers or too many reactions, even though I love them.
Yeah.
But really getting into that last bit, right? Teaching people how to do this piece, right? I mean, earlier we talked about making sure shit's like almost perfect, even though that they should just abolish that word from the dictionary. But getting people to that level without having to spend any money, without having to reach out or have a manager or somebody tell them what to do. I want to just be able to give anything that I've done, let people see behind the counter, right? See what really happens. That way, if they want to get into it, they can, right? And if they ever want to reach out, me as a resource, they can just fucking reach out to me whenever they need to, man.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Access is important, and knowledge is power, man. Like that's kick ass.
We all can eat.
Yes. So once again, give everybody that YouTube channel and give them every social and all your stuff.
Yeah. So guys, listen, you guys can check me out. Obviously, I am Rauli V at I am Rauli V on all social media platforms. You can stream me on every single thing. Just Rauli V, and you'll see me in my green getup. And then, of course, if you're not as good as some of the other folks like me, where I am horrible with my memory, just go to RauliV.com. I got you hooked up. Every single thing is there. If you haven't streamed my Problems, check it out. Check out the visual. Listen to it. We got a brand new EP coming out the second week of January, and I'm doing something super intimate for February as well. So a lot more coming in and a lot more coming out.
Awesome. We'll keep you guys abreast of the new stuff as well. And all the links and everything will be in the descriptions of the show. And definitely check out Rauli V. And remember to ask yourself every day the most important question that you ask yourself every day.
Wait,
it makes
have you figured it out yet? What's that question?
Rauli V, do you know what the question is?
Does it rhyme with Macon? Does it have it in it?
It might have it in it.
It probably
might
does.
have it in it. It might have it in it. What do you think?
Is it what's in your bacon podcast? No.
No.
I don't know if I got that right.
But it is.
What's your bacon?
What's your bacon?
What's your bacon?
Isn't he cool as shit?
Yeah.
I said before this he was going to be cool as shit.
You did.
And he was cool as shit.
Yeah, you were right.
I was right.
You were right.
I will be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I did the interview before I did that.
That's true.
So
you couldn't have been wrong. If you were
wrong,
wrong,
it was a spoiler.
That would have been weird if you were wrong.
So I should have said, spoiler alert, this guy was cool as shit. And now I'm saying it again. But
or you should have been like, what a dick, and then you would have been wrong.
Maybe we can do that next episode.
Hot take, new take. We should just trash our guest before the interview.
We could do that.
Just be like, this dude is trash.
It was awful. What a piece of garbage.
And that's an awesome video.
And then I'll come back on with my tail between my legs.
Right.
And like, I was wrong.
He was actually pretty cool.
He was so cool.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
But yeah, man, Rauli V, check him out. Check out his music. Check out his videos. Check out all that stuff because he's a great dude and he's super creative.
Mixing genres.
If you're like looking to get into other genres, he is the gateway drug to other genres.
Yeah, he's a good one.
That's what Rauli V is the gateway drug to other genres. If you're like a rock metalhead, something. Yeah. If you're not already into other genres,
which you should be,
get
another
genre. Like
listen to more stuff. I mean,
uncultured swine.
Why would you just listen to one style?
Right.
That always drives me nuts with shows.
Oh yeah.
Right, it's like
a metal show.
Yeah, I don't want to go to a metal show. I want to go to a show with a metal band and a rock band and whatever else they want to put on.
Sure,
like nobody just listens to one thing.
Agreed. Speaking of listening to things, where could people listen to you?
Oh,
and the things that you have to say and your band.
Nicely done.
That was smooth.
It's quite a good segue.
Well, yeah, you did a nice layup. Like
it was good.
Like an ollie oop.
It was unplanned ollie.
Yeah.
You just ooped it.
I ooped it.
It was fantastic. You can find me at cravenstrange.net. .net, and from there you can find all of our socials, all of our stuff. If you want to find me personally, Jimmy G Shoes, one word, and check it out on all the socials. I will be there. How about you, bud?
Me personally, I am at me my own self, Mike, on all of the socials. My band, Something Heavy, we're still riding out this single called Shell. At Something Heavy Music on all the socials. You can stream us on all of the fun streaming platforms. Once again, thank you to the BIMP Squad. Once again, thank you to our sponsors, Drink Wild Bills, Poddex, grillyourassoff.com, 10% off if you use the promo code BACON. Of course, our new sponsor, Manscaped.
Yeah.
20% off when you use the code BACONPOD.
Make sure your marbles are shiny.
Exactly. And always remember whether your marbles are shiny or not.
Well, shine them.
Yes, you should always shine them, but always
also,
remember
to
ask yourself,
what's your bacon?
Cool.
Shiny marbles.
I like that.
Shiny marbles is my bacon. So we got a new sponsor.
Yeah, sweet balls, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm pretty sure you can guess by that conversation that our new sponsor is Manscaped.
Yes, Manscaped, a company that I'm very familiar with.
Me too.
A few years now. I've been using their products, and I tell you what, my marbles have never been shinier.
I actually got their lawnmower 3.0.
Yes.
Which it has skin safe technology, and they've just upgraded to the 4.0. And let me tell you, I love the 3.0, but the 4.0 is just so much better. It's got a light on it. Do I really need a light? Yes, you do.
Visual aids.
Yeah,
Visual aids
you absolutely do.
Sometimes,
for sure.
Sometimes in those crevices, that upper leg, inner crease.
Yes, agreed.
It's a tough spot. So the Perfect Package 4.0 contains the Lawnmower 4.0.
Yes.
But one of the things that I am a big fan of is the Crop Reviver.
Yes.
They call it. It is. They call it the Ball Spray Toner.
Yes. So it's
those marbles.
What else is in the Perfect package as well is the ball deodorant.
Yes,
it's the crop preserver. It's an anti-chafing. So when you walk a lot, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get the chafing. I should probably lose weight, but instead I use this.
I'm just a fan. I've always been a fan. I was super excited when you told me that we got the email from them saying that we could now offer a discount to our listeners.
Yes.
I thought that was super cool. So
and men and women can use it too.
Absolutely. It's not just a man thing.
So if you want, you can get 20% off.
Yeah,
your order now.
A big deal.
That's a big deal.
Pretty awesome.
Use the promo code BaconPod. You get 20% off at manscaped.com. So go ahead to manscaped.com. Save yourself 20%.
Yeah.
Use the promo code
BaconPod.
And make your marbles clean.
20%
and shiny.
Check it out, manscaped.com. Highly recommended and used by your boys here at Bacon Is My Podcast. Like I said, keep those marbles shiny.
Whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.